Hello everyone, thanks for joining. Can you hear me clearly? If you can write in the chat. Yeah, thanks Janio for the confirmation. So let's proceed with the event today. And welcome to today's session. It's about sharpen your soft skills for a stronger Salesforce career. And let me introduce myself. I'm Mehdi Hassan. I'm currently working as a software engineer at Aprosoft and proudly serving as one of the leader of Trailblazer Community Group in Dhaka, Bangladesh. In addition to my professional role, I'm also passionate about sharing Salesforce knowledge through YouTube videos, also sometimes LinkedIn post, blog post. And you can find my content on HSCodehub by searching it on the YouTube. Also, you can scan this QR code to navigate to my YouTube channel. Okay. So here are some housekeeping rules. Keep your mic muted. And if you want to put any questions, you can put the questions in the QA chat section. And no questions are silly. All the questions, all kinds of questions are welcomed. And if you are interested in being our next speaker, feel free to reach me out over this email, mdmehdi.hassan@trailblazercgl.com. Or you can also ping me in the LinkedIn if you want to be the next speaker. All right. So today's agenda, mainly I have three agenda, which is a definition of soft skills and importance of soft skills. And I will be explaining some of the top soft skills to have as a professional Salesforce developer. Actually, it's you can tell Salesforce developer, any developer should have this kind of soft skill in short. And just to give you a heads up, there can be some redundant use of similar words because actually soft skills are kind of interconnected with each other. That's why. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. So the definition of soft skill, when we say soft skills, we are talking about personal attributes and abilities that shape how we interact, also collaborate and solve problems. Unlike technical skills, which focus on what you do, soft skills actually focus on how you do it and how you work with others, right? So by the definition, I think we can realize it's pretty important, right, to have the some definite sets of soft skills to work optimized way, work professionally, work in sync with the other team members. So the importance of soft skills and software development is rarely a solo activity, right? If you see the first point, so the team collaboration is needed for a better team success, right? You need the soft skill to collaborate between the team members, the colleagues in a better way, in a successful way. And your collaboration will define the team success, right? And also there's the second point I'm saying effective problem solving and adaptability. Many of the challenges a developer faces are ambiguous, right? Or sometimes they can be unfamiliar. But soft skills like critical thinking, flexibility, and emotional resilience can help you to go in the long way. The third one, communication between stakeholders. So developers don't only speak to others engineers, you'll also need to explain technical ideas to the client, the business teams who may have not have technical backgrounds, being able to translate complexity into accessible language to help build trust and ensure alignment between the throughout the requirements. So communication is one of the vital point, right? Okay, so let's go to the first one. So I will show around 8 top soft skill I have. This is the first one, the problem solving skills and critical thinking. So if you take a step back and look at software development skills, right, from a broader perspective, you will realize that it is all about solving problems, solving complex problems, so implementing complex requirements, things like that. So it can be about designing operating systems, maintaining bookkeeping software systems, or fixing bugs, and so on. So sooner or later in your career, in a software developer's career, he will come across complex issues, right? So how a developer handles a problem that will affect that developer's company and the project they are working on, right? So critical thinkers will be aware of the problem they are facing and understand it has more possible solutions, more than one solutions. So uh, in Salesforce also we have lots of solutions: the optimized way, unoptimized way, the shortcut way, right? So if the developer is aware of the all the possible solutions in the long run, which will um, eat us back, he can go with the optimal one, right? So it's a good trait to have a critical thinking at trait and also the problem solving skill as a developer. Okay, so let's go to the next slide, the communication skill. So especially if your company allows you to work remotely, you have to ensure that the developer possesses the skills to speak to others in different situations and settings. They have to know how to communicate with other people from all the backgrounds, all the cultures. There can be people from different parts of the world, right? So you'll have to have that skill to communicate properly with them, to get the requirement or clear the explanation properly, so that they can understand the complexity, the depth of the implementation, right? For example, let's say that a developer disagrees with how their client wants to proceed with a certain project. So instead of saying, okay, I'm the Salesforce developer, I'm the Salesforce lead, I'm the Salesforce architect, so I know how things work better than you. So this is not the way. This is not how you should say it, right? Instead, we can say this way, like, based on my experience, I think we could implement your idea in a much better way, right? So this helps them to state their opinion, share an idea, or write a report, all in a polite manner. So this is actually effective communication. You are opening the window of options to the client. So this way you can better interact better with the client without hampering the workflow or offending them in any way. So the next slide, it's about people and interpersonal skills. So this means they will need to have a good people skills and interpersonal skills as a software developer. So a developer must master soft skills for developers such as patience, empathy, communication, and time management, etc., etc. So just to give an example, for example, one of the developers' father is sick, or his one of the relative is sick, and I'm going to him. I have a question about implementation or about a bug. So instead of just jumping right into the work question, first I should ask how's the relative is doing, how's his father is doing, what's going on, is everything fine over there? So I'm showing genuine concern to him. So this small gesture builds trust and shows that you care about them as a person, not just as a coworker. So this kind of small gestures will go a long way to building up a healthy relationship with your colleagues. The self awareness. So, developers should be confident in the things they know and humble in the things they don't. So, when a developer is aware of their weak sides, they can seek proper training and mentorship from their colleagues or manager or technical leads whatsoever. But in most cases, what happens when people deny they don't know something, it's often a sign of insecurity regarding software soft skills. But if a developer is secure in himself or herself and acknowledges his or her weaknesses, it's a sign of emotional maturity, right? And which is always a valuable skill. You can learn more stuff. You can go to your manager, you can go to your technical lead and ask, okay, I don't know this. Can you help me with that? Just humble yourself. So this is about self-awareness. And the next slide is about self-learning. So having the skill of self-learning can greatly benefit a developer at their workplace. In fact, according to the Stack Overflow, I guess that was 2018 survey, 80%, 87%, yeah, 87% of the respondents taught themselves a new programming language by themselves. How awesome is that? So they just like the software developer do usually. So they Google stuffs, search stuffs online, search YouTube videos. They're just self-taught, 87% of the people. So when a person is passionate and curious about a subject, there's nothing preventing them from attaining that skill, attaining a uh, being a better software developer with a lot more knowledge. So as the information technology landscape is constantly changing, right? So developer must keep up to date with the current trends and news. Expert, for example, with Salesforce, lots of releases, so like 3 releases are coming in um, every year, right? So they are deprecating some of the older features. They will be they are deprecated. They're deprecating the flow, workflow, process builder, things like that. So you'll have to be up to date. They're bringing new features on the agent force almost with every releases, right? So you can do research on them, you can read blogs on them, and keep yourself up to date with the current latest available technologies. Okay, so the next one is emotional intelligence. So it's a quality that's important for employees as well. So for instance, employees with high emotional intelligence can keep cool under high pressure, high workload, while those with low emotional intelligence have passive or aggressive communication style. So, moreover, emotionally intelligent people have greater empathy, resolve conflicts, and listen when someone gives them constructive feedback. So, receiving a feedback, that's actually a valuable trait. So, if you're receiving constructive feedback, you should be open, right? We should take the feedback and make ourselves better, make the workplace better, do better team collaboration. And an emotionally intelligent person may ask a lots of questions, display curiosity, they'll maintain direct eye contact, smile genuinely, and mirror your gesture. How awesome is that, right? Okay. So now, sorry, there was a delay. This slide is about strong work ethic. So a strong work ethic based on where you go, but in essence, it is the willingness and the drive to work hard and strive for optimal results. So let me give you an example from Salesforce. So client has asked, okay, implement this feature. I need a maybe I need a trigger or something, or record flow trigger or Apex trigger. Implement this. So what I did, I just implemented without bulkifying. Maybe the client data is less as of now, but in future, at some point of the time, that trigger may break because the data can increase day by day, right? So actually, based on the work ethics, I have to do the hard work, take the responsibility, and do in a proper way, in an optimized way. So I should have bulkified whenever I implemented the solution right away, right? So this kind of work ethic we should maintain in our workplace. Do hard work, show dedication, show reliability. Your boss or manager you can rely upon you. Show punctuality, take responsibility. So moving to the next slide. And I would like to mention some others. So first of all, responsibility and accountability. As I said before, some of the keywords will be redundant because actually soft skills are interconnected with each other, right? So the buzzword, the keywords keep coming back. And the first one is okay, I was just checking my configuration. Okay, so the first one is responsibility and accountability. What it means, owning your work and being reliable so others can trust you. So if someone gives you a work, okay, there's a production bug, you'll have to fix it ASAP. So they have to rely on you. Okay, you'll get it fixed on time. But if not, you'll have to report them. Okay, it's not possible to fix it by this timeline, but we can do this, or we can do some alternative solution, or we can bring in some more people. Right? That kind of reliability or trust should be uh, the client should be able to depend on you, right? And time management. So using your time wisely to get tasks done without last minute stress. So we might have a tendency to wait for the last minute. For example, I have 2 weeks deadline. I know I can implement the feature, but what happened? I didn't do anything in the first week, and the second week it started to rush. And what happened? My implemented feature, suppose I implemented a flow or trigger, whatever, so that actually conflicted with a different implementation from a different developer. So that will make the things like hazy, right? And make the things difficult for me as well as for the other team and as well as for the QA. So we should do a proper time management. If we have enough, plenty of time in our hand, we should utilize them properly, not wait for the deadline. Okay. After that, attention to detail. So catching small mistakes before they become big problems. There can be a UI bug. Maybe you are exposing some data in the console log, system debug, important data. Uh, so before they become a big issue, and you shouldn't have done that, you should take care of it uh, right away instead of waiting for the future. And persistence and patience. So staying consistent and calm even when things take longer than expected, right? So if something isn't working out, some implementation isn't working, you have to be persistent and have patience, right? If you can't fix it, reach out to your seniors, reach out to your managers, or reach out to your tech leads. Or if you are the tech lead, maybe post in community. Salesforce Stack Exchange is there, Stack Overflow is there, Salesforce Tailored community is there, right? We have lots of options. Or at the end, we have the Salesforce support. All right. So these are the other attributes I think we should have. And let's move to the next slide. Okay, so common sense is not so common. This is actually not a soft skill, I might say, but this is one of my favorite quote, and it was quoted by Voltaire. He's a French writer and I think philosopher. Yeah, French writer and philosopher. So it's well said. Actually, what it signifies that people in the workplace or in the every sphere of life, they may don't use common sense in every places where they should have. So let me give you some example. I'm actually pointing out a colleague mistake in front of a client, but I should pause and ask, should I do it? Should I really do this? Should I really complain about my colleague to a client? Or avoid bad mouthing teammates to clients, right? It harms the trust more than it helps. We shouldn't badmouth about our teammates to another teammate or even the client. If we have issues, we can go to our colleague. Okay, you have done this wrong. Maybe you could have done this way or that way, or suggest him. If that doesn't work out, maybe we can then take it up to one level to the manager, but not necessarily to the client. That will uh, ruin the image of your company, right? Okay, so the client will think they're working and they don't have any unity between them. In the long run, the client may fire you. And don't interrupt others while they're speaking. We shouldn't do that. So the respect goes a long way. If someone is speaking, we should give him the time to explain himself. Then I will get my opportunity. But if I keep interrupting him, it will look bad. Also, we won't be able to explain ourselves properly. In the long run, it may create a complex conflict between us. And we have to be mindful about in the remote workplace, we may ping someone else, right, and expect them to respond back right away. But that may not happen because the other person yeah, may be busy with something else. He's doing a complex implementation or he's discussing something with a different person, right? So we'll have to be patient. And we shouldn't brag ourselves or share unnecessary details to the client. It will distract from the real discussion. You should try to be pointing out the real scenario, real issues in here. For example, I'm just mentioning all the technical jargons I know. Okay, there is too many SQL, blah blah blah, the batch error. But client isn't like can't understand those technical terms. What client wants, the what's the actual issue from the high level, how we can fix that. So maybe based on that, we have to limit our conversation or explanation to the client. And using simple common sense creates a healthier and more respectful workplace. Also, this is one of my favorite quote: "Be the senior you needed when you were a junior." So think back to when you first started. You probably felt lost, or maybe I had a lot of question. I felt lost, and I wished for someone patient to guide me. Now that I'm in a better position or a stronger position, and I have the chance to be that person for others. So sharing knowledge, encouraging growth, and supporting juniors instead of intimidating them. So the respect and trust I build or we build will last far longer than just giving random orders like a boss. Okay, we are closing toward our session. So uh, it's for open discussion. We don't have bunch of people, only four of us. So if anybody wants to add something, add some more suggestion or any kind of input, you can come unmute and say. I didn't put any QA session because I thought it's not necessary. So that's why I put open discussion. I'll just wait a few seconds more. All right. So yeah, I will move forward. And if you like the session, you can post anything on the LinkedIn with those hashtags: SFDC Bangladesh Trailblazer Community and Salesforce. And here are the resources I found online. I just jumble them together and put something to show in the session. Yeah, that's all. And thank you everyone for joining today's session. I know everyone is busy. And yeah, you're most welcome, Noor Bhai, Nazmul Bhai, and Human Bhai. Thank you very much for joining the session and giving your precious time.